Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Here we are to the greatest show on earth, other than the one we do on Friday. How's everybody doing? I've got a jumper on because it's bloody freezing outside. Yes, -7 wind chill tomorrow, apparently. So, I'm debating whether to go on the treadmill or not. Let me know in the chat. So, welcome everybody to Bite Size. This is our Monday live stream that we record as a podcast as well. This show only works because you guys tune in and hang out with me in the chat. So if you are tuning in live, make sure you fire in your hellos, your questions, your comments, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to talk about. I'm here for the next 30 odd minutes, whatever we get to. So load up the chat, load up the comments. Let's get into all of that. Thank you very much, Gary. Where else do we start? Okay, so while you're all joining, while you're all slowly coming in, we've got a extremely busy week this week. This is show week, let's call it. So we've got the National Running Show. If you're not from the UK, there's like a big convention show thing that happens at the Birmingham NEC, which is like a big exhibition centre. Takes place every year. It's been going for several years now. We've always gone, and it's always been a big event for FORDY runs, I would say. This year, we are back live on stage on Saturday at 11 o'clock. We're doing a live show. We're going to be talking about the World Majors and whether everyday runners can do those. So come along and join us on the Saturday. We've got some stuff we're going to be giving away through that show. We're going to be giving away a London Marathon place during that show. So that's going to be fun. I'm on the stand. Brilliant. After that show, I won't be there in the morning because I've got some other things to do. But I will be there after the podcast. I'll probably grab a quick bite to eat and then I'll be on the stand for the rest of the day. The stand is there for both days. And we have got a group run on the Saturday. It's not really a group run anymore. It's a group rave. We've turned it into a rave. Yes, we have got whistles and we've got a massive speaker that Mick's got to carry around. So we're going to be doing that. And we are going to be having a great time running around a car park. So come along and join us if you're there. Come and hang out at the stand. Come and hang out at the live show. And then on Sunday, we're there again. We're there for the day. And so come along and hang out. It's interesting. There's not as many brands there this year. I think that's quite interesting. It's just noticeable that some of the big brands aren't there. I think if this was a show that was happening in the US, you would see all the big brands there. But I think it's noticeable that some of the big old boys are missing, which I find quite interesting. It seems to be more about the speakers and obviously people like myself being on stage. But it's a bit more about the speakers this year than necessarily the brands, which I think is quite interesting. Whether, let's say, the tide is turning on that sort of stuff, whether they see value in it. Be interested to see what happens next year. Anyway, so that's that. So, yes, make sure we are stand. I wrote it down because I keep forgetting. H74. If you're just joining us again, I'll just reiterate that we are live. Get your questions, get your comments in the chat. We're going to dive in there soon. If you're listening to this as a podcast, thank you very much for taking us out with you. If you're in the Facebook group, there's a link to vote for this podcast. If you haven't done that already, we'd appreciate it if you could. What else? Oh, okay. So, shoes-wise, it's starting to pick up a bit in terms of stuff we've got coming in. This week, I'm trying to get as many miles as I can in the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. We'll come on to them in just a second. We've got some shoes from Under Armour as well in this week. We've got some other bits and bobs that I'm not sure whether I can talk about or can talk about, so we'll leave them parked for now. So that's the shoes this week. We've got a Nimbus 26 review coming out tomorrow. I'd strongly recommend you watch that if you're thinking about that shoe. I'm giving I give my honest opinion on that one. So watch that tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we've got a video about parkrun shoes, just in case that's something that's up the street, because obviously parkrun's a big thing for 40 runs. So that's out on Thursday. So there's some other bits and bobs coming out. So that's the videos. Let's grab the Puma while we're at it. And I made it clear on the if you're not, don't follow the community tab on YouTube, we post on there. But there they are, look, Puma Velocity 3. So I'm not going to rush a video out like some channels just after one run and all this sort of. I think it's a daily trainer, so it needs to do some daily miles. So I'll probably, I might film something Friday morning with this. Let's see how many miles we're getting with the shoe. But yeah, so this is the updated Velocity Nitro 3. I'm holding it up to the camera, by the way, if you're on the podcast. It's got 2 millimeters more stack, 2 millimeter more nitro foam in it, but don't be confused because there's just still 2 layers of foam in here. You've got nitro up here, and then you've got like EVA, traditional EVA. So there's like 2 layers of foam to this. But look how narrow it is. That's all I'm going to say on that. But look at this, look. Oh, Puma grip, people. Puma grip is king. Let me show that right up to the camera. Look how deep the tread is on that bad boy. That's why Puma grip is so good. Now, this weighs 10.3 ounces in my UK 9.5. But most of that, I reckon, is that outsole. It's an absolute beast. And it's perfect, you know what? Because we've got these icy, slippery conditions at the moment. So that's where the shoe is going to come into great use this week. I think it looks nice, by the way. I think it's a real improvement over the previous version. It just looks a little bit more aggressive. I like the cat on the front. Let me turn that around. On the inside, you've got Puma tape here, which is sort of protecting some of that movement on the medial side. But there you've got the cat. Oh, just dropped mud all over the desk. Oh, have a look. Oh, she's going to kill me downstairs. But anyway, so that's that. So that's the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. That's a daily trainer from Puma. Hang on, I'm going to have to sweep the desk off. Look, I wish I could show you this. It's absolutely disgusting. I've even got it in the keyboard. Look at it. Look. If I whack that on the floor, Hoover get run round in here, wouldn't it? Right, there you go. Talk amongst yourselves. Right. That is the problem when you don't clean them. Okay, right. So, yes, that's the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. It's a good shoe. So far, so good. But yeah, let's get a lot more miles in that this week. Hopefully get 20, 25 miles in that at least before the end of the week. And then we'll do something on. Yeah, I'll probably record that Friday before I jump in the car and go to the NEC. Put that out for you on Friday. I've got a question for you, which is, do you think daily trainers are all the same at the moment? Let me know in the chat if you're tuning into this live. Do daily trainers now all feel the same? It's a valid question, I think. The drop's 10 mil out. It's 36, 26. But yeah, do you think that daily trainers have now all become the same? I think they have. I think they're very, very, very similar. They've all got some banging foam in them. They've all got some, well, most of them have got pretty decent outsoles. And yeah, that's about it. I think a lot of it comes down to fit. Like that Puma's narrow. There's other shoes that are wide. You know, I think that's what a lot of it comes down to. But there's nothing out there that I've seen so far this year that sort of got that secret sauce. You know what the Nova Blast 1 had when it came out, the daily trainer, which like was a bit of a maniac. I'm hoping that the new Rebel's a bit like that. A bit like the Nova Blast 1. That's what I'm hoping. So let's see what the Rebel's like. And then go from there. But there's nothing really at the moment with all these new daily trainers. And none of them are bad, by the way. All these daily trainers are good. In fact, they're really good. They're almost too good. But they're all sort of blending into each other. And that's a problem for me. If you're joining us live, thanks very much. Make sure you get in the comments and chat or whatever you call it. Get involved in the convo. We're going to pick that up in just a second. I wish... that I could actually like sort of, I don't know, what's the best way to describe it? Sort of pick them all out one by one. But, you know, maybe we try to do that. Let's see what we can do it. Let's go through them. Hello, Fordy. Need it right. I'll tell you what, let's go straight into this, shall we? Right. So get in the comments, get in the chats. We're going to load this up. I've got to go right to the back. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us. By the way, I did an unboxing on my own earlier. We had some stuff come in. But I wasn't sure what it was, so I couldn't do it live on here, and I'm glad I didn't. because I was going to do an unboxing tonight. I was going to go proper Kafuzi style and do an unboxing, but I wasn't 100% sure on what it is. Um, so that's why I didn't do it, and I'm glad I didn't. Oh, the other thing is as well, if you're coming to the show, I've just remembered. I know I said we've got a load of competitions. So there's a competition coming on the stand. You can win 250 quid vouchers spent at Start Fitness and a brand new pair of shoes. There's that. We're giving away a couple of bits at the actual live pod. Some cool stuff. And there was something else that I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I better shut up. I'm going to get myself into even more. Oh, you've got some goodie bags as well if you come to the shakeout run. If they arrive on time. Right, okay. So evening Dawn, evening Bam Bam, evening Cray, evening Penny, evening Luke, Mark. Wow, so many of you. Rob. Thanks, everybody. What's this from Nick? Evening one from Nick. Picked up a sickness bug and missed my long run yesterday. Oh, Jesus. I don't. Do I forget the long run and crack on with the next one Sunday? Yeah, never try and catch anything up. Sickness. I mean, I hope you. I wish you feel better, but sickness, injury, life gets in the way, right, of training. It's just no point ever trying to chase miles, chase runs. If you miss something, don't worry about it. It's just it make no difference, honestly. And don't rush back either. That's the other thing. Never rush back from sickness or injury. It's just absolutely pointless. You know, there's that thing, isn't there? It's like me when the other week, when I had COVID or whatever it was for a couple of weeks over Christmas. It's like, could I run? Yeah, but I'll leave it a day or two. And that's the way I would say, you know, you're not going to miss anything by 1 or 2 extra days. You've got plenty to lose. So I wouldn't chase the miles. You know, just carry on as you were. Go back into your plan where you're meant to. That's what I would say. Never ever try and chase miles. How's it going, Rod? I'm going very well. Busy week this week, my young friend. Very busy. I've got to stand up in front of you lot on Saturday and talk nonsense for 45 minutes. So we were just looking forward to that. Evening, David. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you as well, by the way, at the show. Evening, Lindsay. Evening, Simon. Wow. So many of you in here. Thanks very much. And again, if you're just joining us live, get in the comments and get in the chat. Questions, comments, whatever you want to talk about. We really don't care. Secondly, to that recommendation for any supplements, vitamins. I'm taking, was it in this week's video? Did anyone see the vlog this week? I think it's either in this one or it's coming up. I'm taking this like green food, superfood supplement at the moment. I take the Arbon products every day. I've got like the fizz sticks and the hydration stuff and all that kind of stuff from Arbon. That's all like vegan, natural products that I take. So that's hydration and all that sort of stuff. But I'm also taking this like superfood supplement that I've got off of TikTok, as I think most stuff people do now get off of TikTok. And Touchwood seems to be all right. So it's like, I might be wrong. I think there's like 21 superfoods in it, all like blended up. So I have one of them a day. I've got to have it after this, funny enough. I tend to have that not just before I go to bed, but close to it. That seems to work. So that try and get that in. And yeah, and I say I'm living on the Arbon stuff. Definitely, you know, I'll make sure I have one of the fizz sticks, one of the hydration drinks. And if I'm doing like a high effort session, there's another product I can take as well. So that's what I'm taking. I hope that helps. Evening, Darren. Nice to see you at the weekend. Evening, Ian. I've just seen you watching live for the first time. You're hero. It's good. Gary's recommending that Nick rests up and hits it next week. Don't squeeze in a run for the sake of it. I second that. Alfie's saying the same. I agree. Penny, what's Penny? Did 2 miles tonight, finished it. Thought maybe I'll do go on the treadmill. Yeah, you got to be careful out there. I mean, we're all adults, right? But it's icy out there, so got to be real careful out there, people. Mick, the speaker, man, this is brilliant. So Mick is going to be carrying our speaker. So if you might have seen it, all these like run clubs in London, all these fashionable TikTok run clubs, these 25-year-olds all dressed in black. Doesn't matter what run club it is, you dress in black. And they wear their pink and orange Nike Alpha Flies to do 5K. And they all turn up and they've got these boom boxes because all the brands have got these boom boxes, all these run clubs. But they're quite expensive. Well, they're not quite expensive. They're bloody expensive. And, well, because we're not funded by, you know, private equity or anything like that. It's just me and the team. I've got a speaker and I've strapped it strapped it to this rucksack I bought off of Amazon. so Mick got volunteered by Tony. Just saying that, Mick, to carry it around at the rave party at the NEC. So we don't know what it's going to be like. It could be terrible or it could be awesome. So yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, it would be good to get one of those boom boxes, but we need it donated by one of the brands we work with to give it to us, because the one we've got, mind you, the one we've got could be awesome. So let's see. But Mick, maybe you should dress in black and like wear pink and orange alpha flies, and then like a black hat, and then run around and just film it all and put it on TikTok. That I think then you'd like really be making it in this world. Vote for Gary saying hit the like button, hero. What's Mark asking? What's the Puma velocity like? I am. They hope. What? Mark Lang. Let's try again. What's the Puma Velocity 3 like? I am. They hoping they have sorted the hill out. Okay, so you're hoping the hill is sorted out. As I had issues with the previous version. Hill seems fine. No problem with the hill. No problem with the fit in the hill section. Stable ride. 2 layers of foam works. But they do have a problem in terms of the fit. So wait till the video comes out, because I don't want to comment yet. I want to see if the problem that I've got, because I do have a problem with them, putting it out there, does sort of get better the more I run in it. And that's why, again, it's another good reason to put a week's worth of mileage in them, even though it's a short week for me. So mileage wise, I'll be lower than where I should be in the plan. But we still should get 25 miles in them before we put that video out. So there we go. So wait on that one. Okay. Penny. What's Penny going? Penny picked up the Adidas Pro 3 for a decent price. Yeah, they're still on Start Fitness. Startfitness.co.uk. You can use the code 40 runs. Picking them up for about 135 quid at the moment. I'd recommend that. Puma Forever Run for stability. Lindsay say, yeah, Puma Forever Run is a great shoe for mild stability. You've got the nitro foam in there. Personally, I prefer the ASICS GT 2000 version 12. I think it's just feels a little bit less shoe, which I don't think is a bad thing. And that comes down again to personal preference. So I'm a big fan of the ASICS GT 2012 for those days where I feel like I need a bit of stability. Usually when I get tired, as now I'm in that marathon training, the miles are going to creep up. So I will be using a mile guidance / stability shoe more and more. I really search for that. I really look for that. I'll be pulling out the Kinvara Pro as well, because that's a really stable ride, but you can pick up some good mileage in that. So that's a cracking shoe. The Kinvara Pro doesn't get any kudos. I think that deserves more than that. But yeah. So again, everybody, if you're tuning in live, thanks very much for joining us. Get in the chat, get in the comments, join in the conversation. I'm here, whatever it's coaching questions, shoe questions, kit questions, channel questions, life questions. I'll try and do my best to help. Next up, what have we got here? Matthew Wallace. Anyone notice bigger turnouts at Parkrun so far this year? 500 plus at Chalkwell Beach and Malden. New Year's resolutions or people? Yeah, I think, firstly, yeah, you're right. It's great to see the turnout at Parkrun. I think Brooks have done a fantastic job working with Parkrun to promote it. Putting some budget at work there to help that. I think their program in terms of doing shoes and working with Parkrun to promote it, I think is helped. But I think, as you rightly said, I think a lot of it this time of the year is the fact that people, New Year's resolutions, and want to get out running, whether they're coming back into running or they're starting running. Running is very fashionable at the moment. Like I just said, everybody seems to be starting a run club at the moment. Everybody seems to be doing social runs. I mean, you could go, if you lived in London, you could go to about 5 run clubs a night. And yeah, so it's the new thing, isn't it? So I think because it makes great content for TikTok. But if you want to get along to Parkrun, which I think is the most important week for some, most important day of the week for some, and rightly so, because it's free, it's for all abilities, it's not a race. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what shoes you've got on, doesn't matter what you're wearing. Doesn't matter what your reason is why you're there. It's community based and it's powerful. And I think Parkrun is special in that respect. And I hope that those numbers keep swelling up because it's just a fantastic thing, and we embrace it here at 40 Runs. As you saw at the weekend when we took over, what's the name? Dover Waterfront. Which I think they had a record attendance because we was there. So I would thoroughly recommend, if you've not done Park Run, get along. So James Page, James, I'm not commenting on your Brooks launch, even though you ran that time in the weekend. I shall not comment on the Brooks launch. Although, to be fair, right, I was in with Brooks, and I was looking at their shoes, and I did ask him. I said, "What's that?" And it was the new launch. So, yeah. Don't get me started. Mark, how much did you pay, Penny, for your Pro 3s, Adidas Pro 3s? I'm hoping to get, by the way, the Endorphin new lineup to you early February, just so you know. So, what shoes would you recommend to be able to run in snowy, icy conditions? I'll say anything with a bloody good outsole. Now that can be those Velocity 3s, Puma Grip, the XT900 on the Triumph. I've got a pair of Triumph, like Run Shield kind of version. They're phenomenal in those conditions. So something like that. Those weatherized shoes tend to be a little bit tackier. The other ones, which is really good, and I don't know whether you can still get them, is the Asics Nova Blast 3 TR. So that's got a great outsole on it. See if you can get that one. I don't know if you can. Let me know in the comments. Anyone seen them cheap anywhere? The Asics Nova Blast 3 TR. Robert, hello, Fordy. Need a recommendation for a fast stability shoe for the half and Edinburgh Marathon. Right. Right. So, firstly, the Convara Pro is a fantastic shoe. I said it in the video I did. It's a very stable ride. It's got a 3/4 length plate in it. I think that is a very, very underestimated shoe. I really, really do. Is that shoe as fast as like a Adidas Pro 3? Probably not. But it will get you around, and it will get you around in good shape. All right. That's a fantastic shoe. I think if you're looking at like the super shoes, I think it'd be worth hanging on for the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 and seeing what that's like in terms of stability. And yeah, I mean, the Super Blast always comes up because it's really wide, and I find that quite stable despite the over 40 mil of stack. So that's a good shout as well. But yeah, there are a couple of shoes for you to have a look at, I would say. Alfie's talking to Matt Wallace. Yeah. Okay, Felix, and thanks again, everybody, for joining us live. If you're joining us now, get in the chat, get in the comments, get involved, ask away anything you want to know. I can help with. Yeah, Felix, hi there. I'm replacing my New Balance More V4. What are your recommendations? Torn between the Ghost Max and the Nova Blast 4. If you're coming from the New Balance More 4, I would go with the Ghost Max. The Ghost Max is, I think, one of the best. We were talking about daily trainers at the front end of the show. I think it's one of the best daily trainers out there because it's so versatile. It's a shoe very much like the Triumph that you can go long in, easy in, and I've been a target like 8-minute miles in the shoe as well. Is it something that's like extremely sexy and like amazing? No, but it's very, very versatile. Nova Blast 4 is like a mini Super Blast. It's not as... This is really harsh, but it's not as awesome as the Super Blast because the Super Blast is up on a pedestal. But the Nova Blast 4 is a very, very competent shoe. But I think if you're coming from the New Balance More 4, which is a built-up shoe and there's a lot of shoe, I would go with the Ghost Max. That's my personal opinion on that one. But the Nova Blast 4 is a good shoe. But again, this is what I was saying at the front end of the show. These daily trainers are all sort of blending into the same thing. They all got very good outsoles, all very good midsoles, all very good uppers. They all fit different ways, so whatever works for you. And that's the problem with the Nova Blast 4. It's sort of blended into the vanilla that we've got now with the very good daily trainers that are currently out there. But to answer your question, Phoenix, I would go with the Ghost Max. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the orange, even though I've got the orange pair. Simon, I got Adidas Pro 3 with 40 runs discount code for £135. Boom. You're welcome. 10mm drop. Alfie's moaning is about the 10mm drop in the Puma. Yeah, you know what? I'm not that sensitive to drop, right? But I see what you mean. I'm not sure why it's 10 mils, to be honest. But I know what you mean. Lucio, we're back to pre-COVID numbers at my park run for 2 weeks now. So yeah, there we go. Right. So Lucio's saying that park runs where he is picking up. That's good. You know, that's what we want to see. You could take all your TikTok run clubs from London. I'm park run every day of the week over there. Every single day of the week. You don't see any film crews other than me at park run, do you? Other than the guys from Brooks, which is doing an awesome job promoting it. DT, I find as a stability shoe wearer, the shoes are a bit boring. I want to buy something loud for my first marathon in Manchester in April. Something loud. Yeah, again, I would wait for the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4. Like I just said, I mentioned the Kavara Pro. You can get them in a very, very, very bright green. If you want something loud, they will get you around that marathon in a sweet, sweet time. Fantastic shoe. Not the lightest thing in the world, but super stable. 3/4 plate. You've got a PB foam going on in there. You know, nothing really much to dislike there. I would say, though, wait for the new endorphin lineup. Potentially. That's, yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. So I don't get into trouble. Get this taken down. Penny, what is a good winter running shoe? I mentioned it before. The Asics Nimbus. You got me out here now. The Asics Nova Blast 3TR. I live in the Cumulus TR TR version, if they're called that. The winterized Cumulus 25. You can pick them up so cheap on Start Fitness. It's ridiculous. It's just a fantastic shoe. It really is. It's just one of those. I think that I'm worn them to death. Kurt, I like the look of the Super Blast Rise. They do have a new version of the Super Blast Rise, a slightly higher stack coming out, by the way. Adidas seems to work for me, but I had to use Puma Forever Run as a daily trainer. I couldn't find anything from Adidas a few months back. There we go. So, Kurt, wait around. There is a couple of shoes coming from Adidas. I was told about one by somebody, and he knows what 40 runs is all about. And he was saying to me that this shoes is going to work for basically you lot. So, where's the mic? So wait about for that one. I don't know when he didn't say when it's coming, but there's a shoe coming from Adidas that he seemed to think would work really well for us. So let's wait and see what that is. Right, okay, I'm a little bit behind here. I think whittling on for too long here. Let's try and get into some of these quicker. Danny, struggling to shake off runner's knee and have 4 marathons this year I've signed up to. Need your advice on how to heal quicker so I can start training. Well, firstly, I don't agree with you doing 4 marathons. I think doing 4 marathons is silly. That's a big toll on the body, but you do you. So good for you. I would get into the gym and I'd get into the swimming pool and I would work like a demon on strength and conditioning. Gym, swimming. There you go, Danny. I hope that helps. But keep us posted how you get on with those 4 marathons. And which ones are you doing, by the way? Hello from Atlanta. Yeehaw! I'm 6 weeks out from the Chattanooga half. Any suggestions for your fueling strategy? Yes. I like to fuel when I'm running a half and I'm going at a rate of knots, about 3.5 miles. That's how I like to fuel it. And obviously I've had breakfast. I've got a funny tummy, right? So don't necessarily do what I say. But I would that's the way I would roll. I would have me breakfast as normal, fuel up. and then I would tend to roll it at 3.5 miles if I'm gunning it. That seems to work for me. So 3, 6, 9, 12. I mean, if we want the 12, it's up to you. But yeah, see how you get on with that. Good luck, by the way. Let us know, Carl. Come back. Tell us how you got on. John E is loving the Nova Blast 4 as a daily trainer. Done a variety of long runs and easy runs, a couple of strides. Looking forward to Rebel 4. Yeah, the Rebel 4, as I said, it looks and tasting. It's reminding me of Nova Blast 1. But that's all I'm going to say about on that shoe at the moment. HF Prepper. Did the Dorney Lake half improve PB by 2 minutes? Well done. He had a knackered old pair of Saucony Triumph 20s. Will I review the Triumph 22? I certainly will. And the Endorphin Pro 4s? I certainly will. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more than that. But yes, I will. We're very lucky on this channel. We've got a good relationship with the guys at Saucony and their agency. So if there's new shoes coming out, we'll review them. So, yeah, definitely will. Steve. Hi, FORDY. Looking for an everyday shoe. Pegasus 40. Don't buy the Pegasus 40. It's a terrible shoe. Nova Blast or the Brooks Ghost Max or anything you'd recommend. I do about 40 miles a week. Easy. Brooks Ghost Max. Ghost Max is a fantastic shoe. If you're looking to do easy miles. Nova Blast 4, again, cracking shoe. Slightly faster feeling, I would say, than the Nova Blast 4, but the Brooks Ghost Max is definitely a more stable ride. It's very much along the lines of the glide ride sort of shoe. I can't say too much, but I think I'm very excited about Ghost Max 2 when that ever comes out. But I think the Brooks Ghost Max is a very good shoe. I know they're selling truckloads of it like we predicted here. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend that or the Nova Blast. If you're looking for something softer, then the New Balance 1080 version 13 is a sort of go-to daily trainer. But it is, be aware, it is a soft ride. So, it depends what you're really after. But I think the sort of halfway house is the Ghost Max. Can't neglect, the Ride 17, the Velocity 3, but they're all very similar. That's what I was trying to say at the front end of the show, that these daily trainers, they're all very, very similar at the moment. And in fact, you could almost say boring because they all blend in. They've all got a good midsole, all got a good outside. There's nothing really that's setting any of these aside from each other at the moment. But hopefully that will change. So let us know what you go for, Steve. Gemma, hi, FORDY. I'm 4 weeks into my first marathon training plan. Seem to experience constant DOMs, especially after my long run. Any tips? How much stretching are you doing? What's your warm-up like? So are you doing a dynamic warm-up? Let me know, right? So, and what's your cool down? Are you literally just like one of my clients who got told off tonight? She knows who it is. She just went out and I done 45 minutes and then said to me, oh, my hamstring was a bit tight. That's say on the plan, dynamic warm-up beforehand. So, yeah, are you doing any of that? How much stretching are you doing? How much, and your conditioning work, what's that look like? So it's all things to think about, which, you've got to take into account. But, don't forget, you are training for a marathon. It's 4 weeks in. It's going to be between 4 and sort of 6, 7 weeks is where you see that adaptation starting to occur. And that's where your muscles start to tell you, it's a bit strong. This is what you're doing. So there's, your body starts catching up with it. So that's why it's also important to have down weeks as well. Factor that in. But listen to your body ultimately. But yeah, look at your stretching, look at your warm up, look at your cool down, look at what you're doing in terms of conditioning work, all that sort of stuff. Also look at your hydration as well. Lee, how's the back, Chris? You know what? I felt it a bit today, and I think it's the cold. I'm putting it down to the cold. So it's been all right. I'm touching a lot of wood here. But let's see. Anything? Yeah, let's see how we go. Any news on the Superblast V2? No. No, none. Who's asking? Are you from ASICS checking? Running around. James. Welcome, James. And welcome everybody, by the way. if you're tuning in for the first time. Let us know if you're tuning in for the first time. Make sure you give this, what is it, thing he says? Make sure you give this, you all hit the like button. The like button helps, apparently. Liking it and subscribing helps. So make sure you all do that now. Shall we pause for a minute while you all hit like and you all hit subscribe? Shall we wait? Shall I pause? Everyone done it? Okay, let's go. James, running around 10 kilometers every other day, sharing between Ride 16, okay, and the Vaporfly 2s. Got a 5-mile race in a couple of weeks. What's the best replacement for the Vaporfly as they've done good 200 miles? I don't think there's actually been a shoe that's come out, right, that's actually like for like replaced the Vaporfly 2 in terms of ultimate speed, the feeling of speed. I think the Rocket X2 from Hoka is worth a look because that's a quick shoe. I don't think it necessarily gets the plaudits, and that's mainly because most Hoka shoes are terrible. I would say the Rocket X2 is an exception to that rule, and it's a very, very fast feeling shoe. I ran a half PB of about 135 last year in that shoe, and I would recommend that. Is that shoe as fast as the Vaporfly 2? No. But it ain't a million miles away. You've also got the Vaporfly 3, which is a little bit more grown up, a little bit more stable, but it's still a very, very, very good shoe. So they're two options, I would say. The Vaporfly 3 and the Rocket X2. All right. Let me know which one you go for. It's nice to see some new faces in the chat. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us. Currently running, Dan is currently running the New Balance 1080 version 13 for everyday runs. He's getting blisters. That's probably the fitting of them. They do come up a little bit weird. However, looking for a race shoe to complement that for a half marathons. What do I reckon? If you like New Balance, I would wait for the new lineup coming from them. They've got some crate shoes coming out. Half marathon shoe for me, I just mentioned it. Rocket X2, great shoe, supremely fast. Or the Vaporfly 3. They're probably, for me, still at the moment, and obviously we've got all the new shoes coming out, especially, like I said, stuff from New Balance, and you've got all the other shoes coming out. They're the sort of still, but I've got a half marathon. I could probably run it in the Alphafly, to be fair, but I might run it in, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to run it in them. Anyway, let's move on before I get myself into trouble. But check out the stuff from New Balance, like that's coming out, or look at the Hoka Rocket X2 and the Vaporfly 3. Yeah, I wonder if you can get the Rocket X2 cheap at the moment. Be interested to know. Darren's loving the new snoods. Yeah, the new snoods have arrived, people. Shall I show you one? So we do snoods on the 40 Run store. We've got the pink ones. Actually, we've got colours for everybody. And the new blue ones have arrived. The blue pink ones. I love a snood. It's upside down. Who likes a good snood? So there we go. New snoods arrived. They're on the store. You're welcome. Thanks everybody who supports the store. We are going to be giving some stuff away at the National Running Show. Nothing crazy. We haven't got like millions and millions of pounds. We haven't been private equity giving us millions and millions of pounds, people. That'd be nice, though, wouldn't it? Right. Tom, evening 40. Love my Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. Ben was in them on Saturday, ran a park run PB. Looking to run London in them. Can you recommend another trainer alongside them for half marathons for the rest of the year? This may seem a little bit like going against what you said, but have you considered running the Speed 3s as sort of the trainer and then putting the Pro 3 or Pro 4 as your sort of half marathon shoe, race day shoe? Yeah. Something to think about. It's Endorphin Speed 3 for your sort of trainer alongside then the Pro 3 or the Pro 4 for race day / those quicker mileage. Something about that. Yeah, I think that could be a good shout because you get on with the Speed 3. That's why I mention it. And that is a little bit more daily trainer feeling than some of the other shoes out there. Oh, John, he mentioned the Cumulus. Yeah, that's what I've mentioned. Saucony Tempest is still available. Yeah, Saucony Tempest 2's on its way. Basically same shoe. Different upper, same shoe. Simon, yes, thanks for the discount code, Chris. I did look, but couldn't find anywhere. But are there any 40 groups in Birmingham? Simon, there is a 40 group in Birmingham. Make sure you get over to the website. Get on that. We want to grow in Birmingham. We want to be huge in Birmingham. Get involved, people. We've got 40 satellite groups in the country, in the UK. Get over to fordyruns.com and find your local one. If there's not one, start one. And if you don't want to start one, join the virtual group that goes out twice a week. Come on, people. It's free. There's no barrier to entry to being part of our club. You can be in... We had somebody from Frankfurt the other day join. You can be anywhere in the world and be a club member. And it's free. No barrier to entry. No £30 fee and trying to give you money off of races, even though you're paying for the money and getting it back. Anyway, let's move on. Here we go. Matt, do you plan on reviewing the Adidas Adizero SL2 when it's available? I do plan on reviewing that. I don't know when the expected release is here in the UK. I know they obviously just dropped the Takumi Sen 10, so there's a big push onto that at the moment in terms of their shoes. Be interesting when that... I think that's probably the next one scheduled, although because you had the Supernova and then you... Supernova Rise, sorry, I better confirm that. Supernova Rise. Then you had the Takumi Sen. Whether they go for that next Supernova shoe or they go SL2, I don't know. So let's see. But they're coming your way. And yes, I will be reviewing them. I'm really looking forward to that because it's got full length Light Strike Pro in it. David Long's wanted some winter shoes too, but the grip on the Nova Blast 3s are handling it so far in wet weather. Okie dokie. Trying to rattle through these now because I'm just seeing the time. Why do you think that people don't buy the Reebok float rides? People don't buy Reebok float rides because they don't know about them. Reebok do no advertising. They're too busy trying to advertise these zigzag shoe things that they've given to all the influencers. Absolutely pointless. They should be giving the float ride to as many people as they can and pushing that down people's throats. But they don't. And I don't know why that is. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that because I'll get myself into trouble. I'll never get anything from them again. But there's reasons for it, unfortunately. Oh, Simon, what area? I'm not sure what area it is, Simon, in terms of Birmingham. But if you want to, if it's not close to you, let's start one. Get in touch. Email hello@fordyruns.com. Gemma, do a lot of stretching post run, but think you've hit the nail on the head with the dynamic warm up or lack of. Yeah, there you go. Also, as I said, look at your conditioning, look at your hydration, all that sort of stuff. But stretching. That's the key. Jim, hi Chris. I've signed up for the Manchester Marathon. What are the best shorts for carrying gels? We've done a video on half tights. Check that video out. Honestly, absolute winner. That is. Have a look at that video. It's on the channel. It's quite a few months old now, but have a look at that. Like this one. Robert, greetings from Florida. That's awesome. Hello to Robert. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. That's awesome. From Florida. He's probably burgling Hayden's house. Any update on the pink shoe socks? No, I've not got round to it. Robert's a heavier runner that was running in Nimbus 25s, but like a lot of shoes, the midsole wears out quickly. What are your thoughts on the Brooks? A perfect replacement. Ghost Max. Can't emphasize how good that shoe is. Didn't expect it to be as good as it is. It's a cracker. All right. So, yeah, definitely recommend that to replace your Nimbus. Joe, no matter how much I warm up before I run, it takes me a mile or two for my legs to get going. I think you can all resonate with that, especially when you're in a training plan. I run a slow mile following by some stretching. Any exercise is better than others for legs warming up properly. I mean, we've done a warm-up video. Gemma, that's a good point. Go back on our YouTube channel. There's a warm-up video with a load of dynamic movements on it. Have a look at that. That might help you in terms of your warm-up. And I'd recommend anybody who's listening back to this as a podcast to do the same. This is a crazy name. Look, Savage Diarrhea. Bit strong, isn't it? Hey, Chris, what's your opinion on the price hike of New Balance fuel cell line? I was blown away by the price tag. I was 100% sure buying them for my marathon, but not at that price. Yeah, I think the price, I did a video about it. I think I've done a few videos about the price of running shoes. I think the price of running shoes is out of control. I think you can blame Nike for that one. With all these racing lines, they've just put the price up and everyone else has just jumped on the back of it and taken the mickey. So I think, I think the running shoe prices are out of control. We did a video at the start of the year, best shoes of 2024. All those shoes are from 2023 and they're all on sale. That's where I'm at on the whole thing. So yeah, no reason to pay up. Unless something comes out that's like banging, right? And I mean absolutely banging. You know, whether it's, I don't know, the endorphin, let's say the endorphin lineup. I'm not going to go, it's one of those is absolutely off the charts. Then yeah, it was worth paying up. But other than that, you know, something's got to be like really, 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 really good stuff to warrant paying the sort of money that they're asking to pay for at the moment. Just and we've all seen the prices come down so quickly as well. You know, it's like Velocity Nitro 2 from Puma. Unbelievable shoe. You get them at the end of last year for 50 quid or £50 if you're not from the UK. So why would you go and spend £130 on a new pair when you can get them? See what I mean? So yeah. Jim's talking about his flip belts. Steve, you're going to be my last one I'm going to put up because I've been on here for longer than I expected. Been running in the Adrenaline GT23s and Guide 16 for a while now. Thinking of going for the GT 2012s or faster runs. With the GT, if you're looking for something really quick for fast workouts, and they are very firm, right? I'd have a look at the Brooks Hyperion GTS. It's a very firm ride, but it feels quick because it's light and it's that feeling, you know, of turnover. But it's a workout shoe. I wouldn't like go over 5K in it because you just like kill your knees. But it is a fantastic shoe. That's one to look at. And again, I love the GT 2012 from Asics. I think it's the best mild stability shoe you can buy, hands down. You can also pick them up cheap. But I'd strongly recommend you have a look at the Brooks Hyperion GTS. I think it looks like it's one of the best looking shoes from Brooks for a long time. And obviously, I've been very public about how bad their shoes looked for years. And then last year, they started knocking it out of the park in terms of the way the shoes look. And the shoes they got coming out this year look so much better. So again, heads up, you know, in terms of giving them kudos for listening. But I would recommend the Hyperion GTS if you want a quick sort of up tempo workout shoe with stability. Right, last one, because I want to go and have a cup of tea. I know I've got to go and have me green drink. Hi, FORDY, Simon. I've got Manchester Marathon in April. By the way, we're doing a shakeout run in Manchester. Make sure you'll come. Broke my rib last week. Oh. What would you say is the minimum amount of time for training? I have 2 marathons last, but train for 12 weeks before each. Hang on. Hi, FORDY. I've got the Manchester Marathon in April. Broke my rib last week. What would you say is the minimum amount of time for training? I have run 2 marathons last what? But train for 12 weeks before each run. Firstly, disclaimer, whatever your doctor says, whatever the physio says, just put it out there. Surprise all of you. I know I'm not medically trained. If you was my client, I would. Well, then again, I would know what you've done beforehand. So it's it's knowing what your baseline is. This is the thing. It's like not knowing where you was at aerobically beforehand, what we was achieving beforehand, how much grace we've got, what the doctors said in terms of the healing process time. I mean, can you train for a marathon in 12 weeks? Yeah, absolutely. But it depends what your baseline fitness is. See what I mean? So it's very hard to sit and make it. And I know I may be saying I'm passing the buck, but because I don't know you as a runner, in terms of what you've done before you broke your rib, I think that's the key. Is where were you in terms of your fitness, your aerobically? Where was you? How strong was you as a baseline fitness? Could you go out and run like a good hard 20 miles? Could you go and run a good solid 16 miles? Or could you, go and nail a 30? Where were you? And then I would base it on that. But, you could easily, there's nothing easy about training for marathon, but you could train for a marathon in 12 weeks. Yes, you could. That would be no problem. And you have done 2 marathons, so you understand the mental side of running a marathon, which I think is massively underestimated by everybody who sees, 25-year-olds on TikTok. I've just been taken to the New York Marathon and I'm like a hero. Follow me. make it look so easy, and it's not. It's bloody hard. Marathons are bloody hard. Half marathons are bloody hard. Getting off the couch to 5K, guess what? That's also bloody hard. But I think you can't underestimate, the experience you've got from running 2 marathons. So I would take some of that knowledge, but I don't know what you've got behind you. So make an assessment based on what you had previous. But most important thing is listen to what the doctors say. I know it's a bit sucking eggs, but that's all you can do. But the most important thing is don't worry about it, because there's no point killing yourself trying to do the Manchester Marathon. There's always going to be another one, right? So maybe sack it off, pick yourself something in early September. Go for that. We get injured. Everybody gets injured. It is what it is, isn't it? So maybe sack that off and go and do something early autumn. And do that. Concentrate on getting back to full fitness. Have a good training block. Go from there. Right. Okay. So that's it. That's the end of the show. I've been on here 20 minutes longer than I expected because you lot all turned up. Thanks very much for doing that. I really appreciate it. Again, just to re-emphasize, Stan H74, the National Running Show. We are live on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Come along and see us and support us. We want to turn the place up. Okay. We have got a rave run on Saturday night. Mick is carrying the speaker. We are going to be glow sticking ourselves and whistling our way around an NEC car park. We're going to cause havoc. So make sure you come along to that. We are there also on Sunday. We're going to be chilling out on Sunday. We're going to have a chilled out vibe on Sunday. All right. So make sure you come along and say hi. Make sure you come along and say hello to the team. And on Friday, we've got a pre-recorded long run show. It's all about running influencers, and I was on very, very good behavior, just so you know. I didn't say what I wanted to say. So make sure you tune into that. And I think that's it. I'll be back live on Monday. As always, thank you very much to everybody who's tuned in. Thank you very much to everybody who's contributed. The show does not work unless you guys turn up every week. I really, really appreciate it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I hopefully will see a lot of you this weekend. Take care, and I'll see you all later.